What if I told you that you can do your cycling workouts without worrying about cars, pedestrians, or even traffic lights? If you had a coach that would tell you what to do at every second during your workout. And I'm not talking about doing workouts in erg mode on Zwift. I'm talking proper outdoor cycling sessions. You can have that, and in this video, I'm going to tell you how. It's called XERT Magic Buckets. And what that is, at least in my opinion, the most fun way to train I've ever encountered. Let me explain it on a comparison to standard workout. Let's imagine you need to do 5 times 5 minutes at your VO2 max power. You start your first interval and after 1 minute you hit a red light. You do another one and in the middle a group of tourists block the road and you need to stop. On the third one you hit a traffic jam. It's pretty clear your workout is over at this point. But with Magic Buckets, these events do not ruin the workout, they simply adjust it. XERT's training philosophy is somewhat different to conventional training. Rather than giving you set amount of intervals at a certain power for a certain duration, they give you stress score targets that you need to hit to complete the day's work, and the ratio of one to another is what influences the training stimulus. Those targets are divided into 3 categories. Low stress, which covers riding anywhere below your FTP, high stress, that covers intensities around your VO2 max, and peak stress, which is straight anaerobic and sprint efforts. I don't want to go too much into detail about how does this work because I have a comprehensive guide to how XERT training works, and I will link it down below. But the thing that is so beautiful about Magic Buckets is it is a plugin that's going to pull your daily plan from the platform and then precisely guide you through the workout in a way that you complete it as efficiently as possible. For example, do you have your high bucket already filled for the day? Magic Buckets are going to prescribe you sprint intervals. Do you already have your peak bucket filled? You are going to have to do hard, steady efforts. What if your interval is cut in half by unexpected event? Magic Buckets are going to recalculate the guidelines for your next interval. The main beauty of Magic Buckets is it recalculates your target each second based on what you do. So what do you need to start training like this? Well, since this is an XERT feature, you are going to need an XERT subscription. You don't need to commit to anything from the start, there's a 30-day free trial so you can try it completely worry-free. Secondly, at this point Magic Buckets is only available for Garmin Edge devices. I know the team works hard on bringing it to other cycling computers as well, but as of now, that's what it is. Finally, you will need to install the Magic Buckets as data field. I'm not going to describe here how to do that, but we'll link the official installation guide from XERT in the description down below. As I said, the way Magic Bucket sets your target for the day is it pulls them from your training plan in your XERT calendar. And once again, if you are interested how does it work or how you set a training plan there, I will link my guide at the end. And the face of the plugin is going to look somewhat differently based on if you have scheduled an easy day or a hard day. On the left, you can see the Magic Buckets mode, which you are going to see if you have a hard day. On the right, you can see the Magic Endurance mode that you are going to see if you have an easy day. I will give you a live demonstration of both at the end, but first let's go over the main pieces of the interface. First, we are going to take a look at Magic Buckets workout mode. On the very top, you can see your main power gauge. The number in the middle is your 3-second average power, and around it you can see 2 colored rings. The inner ring shows your training zones. Those are also based on your own stats. The black bar in the middle shows you the power range in which you should be for the current portion of the workout, whether that's recovery, easy portion or the interval. The small circle shows you your ideal cadence for the required power, the large one shows you your real cadence. The pink outer ring shows you your maximal power available. After you train and race for some time, XERT can very reliably predict what kind of power you can develop at every second. As you ride over your threshold, this bar starts depleting, showing you objectively how much juice you have left. Under your power gauge, you have a workout level indicator, and this is what makes Magic Buckets actually so incredible. Because if you look below it, you can see your target power for the intervals, but you can't see any recommended duration. And that is because the duration of any single interval is up to you. Once you start riding around the recommended target, the face of the data field changes. You can now see the target interval power and the duration for which you have been riding it so far. Also, your challenge level bar starts filling up. The longer you ride around the power, the higher level of workout you reach. While recovering, the challenge level goes down. And you can do the workout in one of many ways. You can make the intervals short, reaching only low challenge level and resetting back to 0 with each recovery. This workout is going to be the easiest, but it will take the longest for you to get the required stimulus. Or you can work at a higher challenge level, which means that you either do longer intervals, have a short recovery, or combination of both, and then the workout will be shorter. Or you can do all the high intensity work in one interval, your challenge level will get super high, your workout will be super efficient, but it will hurt. It's up to you. Each time you finish an interval, the plugin gives you a recommendation for how long and at what power you should recover. But that does not mean that right after you have to go into another interval. Your challenge level is going to drop if you don't, but you can do your workout in any way really. Plan the intervals for climbs or long stretches of road, or even stop the interval in the middle if there's any disruption. When you have an easy day scheduled, you will see the Magic Endurance page. It is fairly similar to Magic Buckets, but you can see some differences. Firstly, on the bottom, you actually have only one Magic Bucket, the low stress bucket. In the place of the other two, there are two new metrics: the zone, which shows how much stress you have incurred in the correct zone. Ideally, you want to keep this as close to the XSS bucket as possible, and fat, in which you can see what amount of stress have been supported by your fat burning systems. In the middle, you've got your target power for the ride, recommended cadence, and for full clarity, you can see how much high and peak stress have you done during this ride as well. Now let me show you how it works in action. First, I will take you with me on my outdoor workout, and then I'll show you how does it work while doing an easy ride on Zwift. This is my commute from work, and as you can see, I already have some stress incurred for the day. That's because I was also commuting in the morning. Here I am warming up, and at this low power, I'm only filling up my low stress bucket. But take a look at that bridge. I will need to cross it, and that climb up this bridge will allow me to do my first interval. The recommended power for my first interval is 382 watts, and on this first one I'm going to completely ignore it and simply go hard. Firstly, the climb interval is going to be quite steep and short, about 30 seconds, and for that duration any modulated effort is fairly difficult. Secondly, it will allow me to show you what happens if you just do not blindly follow the recommendation. So here starts the climbing. The plugin switch into the high interval mode and take a look at what happens to high bucket and peak bucket when I go hard. They will simply start filling up. I'm going to hammer it only until the crest of the bridge, as it is often busy here and I don't want to endanger anyone. So I reach the top and stop pedaling, and look what happens now. Firstly, the plugin switch into recovery mode and it gives me guidance on what should be my recovery power and duration. Secondly, since I went over the target this time, it recalculated my next target and it is now easier, 377 watts. Isn't this cool? And you simply do this until all of your buckets are filled. Doesn't matter if you do many short intervals like this or less longer ones. If you follow the guidance, you will reach the desired destination. For the second demonstration, I will show you my easy day that I decided to do on Zwift. My target stress score is 41 for the day and it should be all low stress. The plugin recommends me to hover around power of 185 watts. Below that guidance you can see an estimation on how long it will take you to reach the target. This estimation automatically goes slower or faster as you go under or over your target. In the zone bucket you can see that I'm not filling it up as quickly as my target bucket, which means that on average I'm probably a little outside the desired zone. On the right then, you can see what percentage of my stress is driven by burning fat. Isn't this cool? If this demonstration confused you or if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comments below, and if you like this video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.